Your intro all together because we're going live and
Sure. Yeah.
all right.
Yep. I wrote it out for you.
All right, let's just wing it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very special and spooky Halloween episode of St. Rose Fireside Chats. I'm your host, Katie Klimacek, otherwise known as a creepy doll, and I am joined here today by my co-host, Modest Playboy Bunny, Leanne. Leanne, what's your last name? I should have known that.
It's DiMartino.
DiMartino, and by our lovely Harley Quinn, Marina Hands. And we will be discussing today popular Halloween costumes, the Teal Pumpkin Project, and dishing about our favorite candy. So, topic one is popular Halloween costumes. So it is Halloween today, but leading up to Halloween, what did you guys anticipate to be the most popular costume?
Honestly, I think that my costume is going to be the most popular one. There are a lot of postings all over, Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff of like couples. They're doing the Harley Quinn and Joker combo. And the Suicide Squad was incredibly popular when it came out, so it's kind of no surprise that it
No
inspired.
spoilers. I still haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Leanne,
Yes.
what was did you have an anticipation of, any predictions of what would have been?
I thought Harley Quinn and the Joker were actually going to be like very big Halloween costumes, and something I also picked up was Grease was big this year because of the Grease Live. So I'm expecting to see a lot of pink ladies, a lot of greasers out there, and I've seen some around, not a lot. I'm expecting to see a lot more.
That's really interesting. I definitely noticed just on like social media wise that there definitely is a throwback to a lot of
The old school kind of
Yeah,
costumes.
exactly. I also assumed that Harley Quinn and anything like Suicide Squad or like superhero in general, there was a lot of superhero movies that came out this year. It would be a lot of mostly based on that. But then also after watching Stranger Things, I immediately, because I decided this but obviously did not go through with it, that I was going to be Barb. And I thankfully have already seen several people go through with Barb, because for those of you Stranger Things fan, Barb is definitely a, she's a real great one. So do you guys have a personal favorite Halloween costume?
Well, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and growing up, I was always different characters. I was Princess Leia, Queen Amidala, and Princess Padme. And I have to say, probably my favorite out of all those was Queen Amidala, because I had the white makeup, like the whole getup, and it was probably like the most decked out I've ever been on Halloween. So that is definitely like one of my favorites.
She's definitely, I'm not a huge Star Wars knowledge knower, but she definitely is, like, when you think like decked out costume, she's definitely one of them. Marina?
Oh, yeah. I think a personal favorite of mine was one that I wore a couple years ago. I was the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland.
Very nice.
I have a lot of old dance costumes from my performance dance days, and they come in handy for Halloween. So I repurposed one of my costumes, added some black and white striped leggings, and decked out a fedora to my liking, and just went with it. It was a lot of fun.
Very nice. I particularly don't have a memory of really any of my Halloween costumes, but I do know that there is a picture someplace in the Klimacek household of myself, my brother, and our neighbors dressed up as the Power Rangers, but with a real good homemade spin to it. So they had we had Power Ranger pajamas that they had, how they have the superhero t-shirts that they have now, where it's the kind of outfit, whatever.
Yep.
And face paint for whatever character it was. And then we had helmets, bike helmets, old, those really thick styrofoam kind that's got the plastic ring around it.
I remember those.
Yeah, that's late 90s, homemade Halloween costume to a brilliant way. So obviously you guys are wearing Halloween costumes
Yep.
today. Did you guys plan? Did you guys lead up to this? Was there preparation?
Well, for me, I had to choose a costume ahead of time because I don't really have anything other than those old dance costumes to work with. So for me to be Harley Quinn this year, I really had to just plan it out so that I could time everything with Amazon, because you know how that goes.
Gotcha.
I am a broke college student, so of course I have to plan it out, try and find things I could get, put together what I already have to make costumes. Because just being around friends, obviously I'm going to go to some Halloween parties. It's that time of year. So I managed to put together some costumes. I went as a devil one night with friends, went as Captain America. So I was trying to plan it out.
Trying to get the most bang for your buck.
Exactly.
Well, enough about Halloween. So our next topic is the Teal Pumpkin Project. And Marina, you know more about this, so I'm going to toss it over to you.
All right. So the Teal Pumpkin Project is, it was started by a company, and I believe the acronym is FARE. Not exactly sure what it stands for. I think it's food allergy and whatever the RE stands for. But the point of it is to raise awareness for people who have food allergies, because a lot of the times, and I knew a couple of my friends who couldn't go trick-or-treating because the candy is not allergen friendly. I mean, everything's got, if you have a dairy allergy, everything's got chocolate, and if you've got peanuts, God forbid you have a deadly peanut allergy, so it really sucks for kids who don't have the ability to eat all of the candy that you guys go collect every year. So basically, what they came up with was, in order to let everybody know that you are a participating household in the Teal Pumpkin Project, you place a teal or just in general blue painted pumpkin on your front porch, and that lets families know that your house is allergen safe for handing out treats. So instead of handing out candy, they typically hand out Mardi Gras beads or little toys, glow sticks, just fun little items that aren't necessarily food related. So,
nice.
It gives everybody a chance to go trick-or-treating together, no matter what, if you have an allergy or not. So
That's really interesting.
keeps things fun.
Thoughts about that?
I think it's a very smart idea because I know a lot of people with severe food allergies, allergic to gluten, where they could be hospitalized. Same thing with peanuts. So just knowing that those people are safe out there, that they actually have a chance to participate without that fear that something could happen, I think it's very important that stuff like that happens because it brings more awareness to the situation.
Very nice. Well, now I'll have to rethink handing out shellfish for Halloween. So do you guys think that participants of the Teal Pumpkin Project should cater to every food allergy that there is, or at least the major ones, or just the major ones that are like nuts or I don't know, dairy, I guess. Thoughts on that?
I feel like you can't get too specific with it because once you start getting into smaller allergies, they're not going to be as common. So the bigger ones like peanuts and dairy, that's something a lot of people have allergies to. So it's easier to watch out for that than something so small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page. It's definitely hard to hand out, if you're going to do homemade treats and give the general public an idea of what the treats, the list of ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone comes and you say, oh, well, I don't have candy, but I have, allergen safe treats, and then you can hand out the list of ingredients. That's really cool, but because so many people have, with the gluten allergy, it's a big thing, and a lot of people just choose to go gluten-free. So, especially if you're trying to make homemade treats that don't involve, nuts and dairy, then you kind of left with gluten. So I think it's just a better idea for everybody to just hand out little toys than something food related. It's just too complicated.
And do you guys think that everybody should participate and should be a part of the Teal Pumpkin Project, or at least if you're going to do the traditional passing out candy, have the option for, you know, having an allergy-free like toys or something like that, or something so they don't feel excluded. Kids that do have allergies don't feel excluded.
I think it's a good idea to have a little bit of both. Definitely, like, if you know that you're in a development or a very highly populated neighborhood where everybody goes trick-or-treating, then it's probably definitely a good idea to just go with the gluten, or the, not gluten-free, but like all allergen-free, toys and little knickknacks to hand out. Depending on how many neighbors of yours you know are going to be participating. If no one else is participating, it might be a good idea to try it. But if you're just like on your own, you know, a lot of your other neighbors don't really do the whole Halloween thing, I'd say don't worry about it too much. Don't go over the top. Just kind of maybe have some little glow sticks on the side to hand out.
Leanne?
I feel like you should have like both options, allergy free and like some for like others, because you want a variety, because some kids may not like those allergy free candies or choices, because like with the toys you could give it to kids, but the whole point of trick-or-treating is to get that candy. So I feel like if you have options like say Swedish Fish or like Sour Patch Kids, you could give that to like people like kids that aren't allergic to it, and like allow them to choose if they want the chocolate or if they want something like Snickers, because like it's good to have options too. So you're not excluding that tradition of candy.
Options are always better. And probably one of my favorite things to discuss is favorite candy. My personal being, Snickers, and I was lucky enough to find that Walgreens, I mean, I don't know if Walgreens is the only person who carries it, but that Snickers is starting to make just bags just solely with Snickers almond, like the Snicker almond bar, which is 1,000 times better than normal Snickers. Unless you don't like almonds, then stick to your regular Snickers. But what is your guys' favorite candy?
All right, I am in love with anything Reese's. I love that chocolate peanut butter combination. So good. I also like Take Fives. They're a lot harder to find, but they've got that caramel, peanut butter, chocolate, pretzel. Just
5 things.
Oh yeah.
Just, look, choices. Exactly. You don't have to pick one. You get all
Love those
5.
choices.
Leanne.
I am a sucker for Reese's peanut butter cups. I even have a dog named after it, literally.
Cups, that's a great name.
I'm also a sucker for Milky Ways. A lot of people don't like them, but I love it. It's like a perfect caramel ratio with the chocolate. I don't know what else is in there, but it's just makes me happy.
Do you prefer the light or the dark Milky Ways?
The light. I am a sucker for milk chocolate. I am. I'm very much a traditionalist. But I also really like the sugary stuff like Sour Patch Kids and Nerds and Laffy Taffies. Like, I actually get excited when I see those. And
just gummies. I love the gummies so much.
Gummies are
sour
the
stuff
best.
too. Like, I get so excited. Like, my dad always sends me up stuff in the mail of just that type of candy, and it always makes my day when I see it.
Speaking about super sugary stuff, I just came to the realization recently that Halloween's like #1 candy, I guess you could say, or like ideal candy. The candy that sells Halloween is candy corn. And I came to the realization, a very simple realization, that candy corn is literally just a sugar triangle.
Oh yeah.
So I just thought I'd throw that out there for all you folks in case you were wondering what your candy corn was made of.
It's just sugar and corn syrup and more sugar.
So we are all in college, if you guys couldn't figure that one out yet. But do you, lovely ladies, still go trick-or-treating? Or at least some form, do you still carry that tradition alive? Do you still keep it alive in some way?
I think my last year of trick-or-treating was senior year in high school. Mainly because I still had a lot of my old friends around, everybody was still at home. So we were like, hey, let's go trick-or-treating, because why the hell not? Yeah.
I was actually trying to make plans with friends tonight to try and go, but when I am back home, like last year with the senior year of high school, being in high school, I have a lot of younger cousins, so I saw it as a good excuse to continue the tradition of still going and like still being in that Halloween like surrounding, like getting candy because it's free candy. You know what? I am in college and I enjoy anything free. So know what? I am going trick-or-treating tonight just so I have stuff
So
to
I
snack
just
on.
like this idea of you with your cousins, like, okay, like Tommy and Jenny, like, let's all walk, and then like you see like the first house, and you're just like, get out of my way, Andy, because that would definitely be me, with or without cousins. And do you think, kind of like talking about, do you think that there should be an age limit on? Because, I mean, I'm sure we've all been in that situation where we've been handing out candy and, like, a 34-year-old with, like, a sack, like a pillow sack and, like, I don't even know, like, whiskers on his face. They're like, trick or treat! Okay. So do you guys think that there should be some sort of age limit on?
I think as long as you're a kid at heart, you could still continue that tradition of trick-or-treating, still having fun. But I feel like after a certain age, it does get creepy.
People start to judge you.
And that is when you go and have children of your own so you could take them trick-or-treating.
Yes. That's when you go get your cousins and whatnot, and you're like, okay, let's go trick-or-treating. But yeah, so that's pretty much the jazz. That's all we have for today. Be sure to tune in next Monday for another installment of Fireside Chats. Yeah, all in unison. Have a great Halloween.